Gary
great.
Bettman is with us, Commissioner of the National Hockey League. He will be in Chicago for the banner-raising ceremony, 3 Stanley Cups in the last 6 years for the Blackhawks, hosting the New York Rangers. Where are we on expansion and this process? To me, it looks like it's slowed a little bit.
Well, no. It's never slowed from our standpoint.
No.
It's exactly on the track and at the speed that we've designed the process. I think there have been some in the media in various places, and I don't mean you guys, who have tried to accelerate it for us or speculated that it's accelerated or it's a done deal. I've been saying from day one it's not a done deal, that we have a lot of work to do. We have 2 applicants. They've been through 3 phases of information production. There was a meeting with the executive committee of the 2 applicants. But in terms of deliberations and analysis and focusing on issues, we haven't even begun to do that yet because there is no timetable that we're subject to. During my media avail after the board meeting, somebody said to me, well, how can you get a team ready to go for the 17-18 season, which is when you announced it would start, if you're not picking up the pace? And I said a team wouldn't start before 17-18. I didn't say a team would start in 17-18. It might not. We have to do this. It's a very important, serious decision. It's something that the league as a whole, because it's ultimately a decision for the Board of Governors, has to focus on and do for the right reasons. And by the way, it focuses on who the potential owner is, the market, the arena, and it also focuses on what will it do to enhance or strengthen the league. These are all important things that have to be considered.
So at $1 billion for 2 teams, you would certainly think that a lot of owners would be anxious to have it happen.
By the way, I'm now going to give you an over-technical answer that may give you a headache, and I apologize for it. People seem to think that if we give a franchise, for pick a number, $500 million, that's $500 million of unimpaired free money that goes to the owners. What you're missing is that instead of dividing national revenues, which have been growing at a big double-digit pace for the last couple of decades, national revenues, instead of getting shared 30 ways, now get shared 31 ways, so that your share of national revenues as an existing team goes down, and there is a present value that you can project out. So it isn't all found money.
No, except, Gary, there is 30-some million per team. So I get the national numbers, and I get all that, but the $30 million is a lot of national deals.
No, by the way, and let's assume by admitting a team, let's make up a number, that your share of national revenues is diminished over the next 10 years by $2 or $3 million a year.
But you can also add 4 teams over the next 10 years. But anyway, you can add. But anyway, let's just talk Quebec for 1 minute. I mean, I keep hearing that the Canadian dollar doesn't mean as much as lots of people tend to make it as critical as it is. But when you say to Eugene Melnyk, you've got a 25% difference in your payroll this year, doesn't it mean a lot more than the league lets on it means? I mean, it's a big part of your revenue.
Because if you look at all aspects of the system, whether or not it's ultimately the escrow, revenue sharing, the level of the cap, the system takes all of this into account.
Right.
So it doesn't. And by the way, your answer about the Canadian dollar, Quebecor was asked, understanding that it won't be less than $500 million U.S., is that a problem? And they said no.
It's funny, I get paid in Canadian dollars, and when I go to the States, it really bothers me, but it doesn't bother the NHL. I don't get that.
Well, because
doesn't bother Darren and I either.
You need to discuss that with Scott Moore, not with me.
Well, you can help me. You crucified me to start the interview off with my dress code.
We started with you having to go to Scott Moore, and I guess we're ending with you having to go to Scott Moore.
I'm sure Scott Moore will come to us. We know you have a plane to catch, but we're really looking forward to 3-on-3 overtime and the first coach chance. Maybe we'll get both of them out of the gate tonight, but have a safe trip to Chicago.
Thanks. Great to be with you guys, and it's going to be interesting to see what strategies the coaches
don't let them ruin it.
3-on-3.
Gary, don't let them screw it up.
Enjoy the season. All the best.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.